This ain't no perm, bro.
Is that natural?
This is natural.
It is. See, mine's natural too.
This is all the way natural, man.
I'm gonna run it.
I'll tell my pops to come over and prove it.
Yes. Uncle doesn't outplay. Jan Wayne Swayze presents the FREE99 podcast. Be sure to follow us on SoundCloud, iTunes, YouTube, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Twitch, Instagram. Search FREE99 podcast. Shout out to all the sponsors, shout out to all the listeners. Jan in the building, Rommel in the building.
There's something about the West Coast. Shh, don't tell nobody.
I'm a good homie, Gus Customer Service. Special guest on episode 162. Special guest. If you could please introduce yourself, my man.
It's Mr. Barnone, man.
It's not a man.
It's not a man.
Episode 162. Thank you.
Salute.
I want to shout out Jake though, cause
yeah, it's Jake too.
sorry. Sorry. That's I want to shout him out because he was early on the podcast. Early. I'm talking about maybe episode 20. Early.
Yeah, no, for sure, man.
Twin.
And I gotta always support my bro Gus, man.
And just to recap, I know Barnone because his older cousin and me are best friends. She was in my wedding.
I love the tone that you said that in.
You know what I mean?
I know Barnone.
When I was going to Reardon, she hit me. She's like, "Hey, my cousin's gonna go to Reardon, look out for him." And I felt like he was the one looking after me.
Wow.
And I was a young guy. I'm sorry, I was an older guy. So I was I seen this man grow up, and one thing you'll recognize if you ever meet him, he always has a smile on his face.
This is true. This is true.
Greet you with a smile.
You make me go cover this shit up, bro.
Greet you with a smile. And he left the school because they made him cut his hair.
Facts.
Wow.
Also facts.
Because his hair is super curly. We were just making fun of his hair earlier.
They try to say I had a perm, man. This is not a perm, man. This is a real deal.
That's a perm on the right.
This isn't a perm. See, this is the thing about FREE99. All they do is accuse you of perming your hair. That's not right, yo. Let's get out of here,
shaming? Are we perm shaming?
Let's get out of here.
Perm shaming is not a good thing,
this.
man. No, but yeah, they made me cut my hair. I remember it was the day that Tupac died.
Damn.
And then they made me cut my hair off, and it was I just felt like an outcast, man. Like I just, like it's all boys. Like I have nobody to impress, so it's kind of like.
What was your reason? What was your hair like?
Oh, I had like this.
It was
I just let it grow. It was just like straight, like afro. You know what I mean? It was almost like you see the kids with the mushroom cut these days. You have the
the Edgar.
I had that before.
The Edgar, that's the opposite of a mushroom cut.
Yeah.
That's like a mushroom.
No, I had
growing.
like the big poof on top, and then I just remember we were like in church, and then they called me out. Like the priest called me out, and then they were like, if you don't cut your hair, blah blah blah.
He was whack. That priest was whack.
That's fucked up.
Yeah,
that priest was whack.
You should have just said, Jesus had long hair.
Now, you know what? If it was 2008, I would have told him Jesus Christ had dreads, but we didn't make it that far yet. So
And they're like, "Did you just make that up?" I'm like,
yeah, man, it was a weird time. But it's kind of weird because full circle, my son might be going to Reardon.
yeah.
Oh, shout out to Young Jay.
Right?
And it's co-ed now too, right?
It's co-ed now. It's like we went there, we did the walkthrough. It's got like a whole different vibe.
So just
And we got homies that are there still.
yeah,
So
I think a couple of dudes from your class kind of run like the ministers and stuff, right?
Yeah. Juan, remember Juan?
Yeah, so that's cool though.
Yeah, it's different, but that if I can say anything about that school, there was a real true brotherhood. About that school when people who went there, there was a certain kind of pride.
yeah. I didn't even go to Reardon, and I know about this brotherhood.
Yeah.
Your older brother though, right?
He did, yeah. And then also, John Barretto did too.
John, you know John Barretto, right?
If I see his face, I probably do, man.
Shout out to John.
I probably do. The name,
But
I just can't put it together.
Runs deep.
Well, I went to that school not knowing anybody. I knew one person, and he actually passed away. He used to live down the street too. He was my boy Tom. And then after that, I made a bunch of friends.
Who's this?
Tom Callahan.
Damn.
He
Is that Kieran's younger brother? Shout out to Kieran.
Yeah, so shout out to Kieran. Shout out to Tom. Rest in peace, man. That was my dude. He ended up going to the military, and then he passed away. Actually, it's why I don't like to bring this up, but a lot of cats I went to Reardon with passed away. You know what I mean? So it was kind of weird, but I met a lot of good people there, So either way, whatever it is, even though I left because they made me cut my hair, it was all good.
So what years were you there? Were you there for at least
I was only there
Freshman year?
like freshman year. I think I finished freshman year, or almost finished freshman year.
Yeah. Then you went to Westmore, right?
Then I went to Westmore.
Shout out to Westmore.
Shout out to
Because
Westmore.
I grew up going. I went to Tobias. I went to Ben Franklin. You know what I mean? Like
Part of this
Yeah.
corridor right here, right?
exactly right here. So
My uncle taught at Westmore.
for real,
Yeah, Mariano.
Mr. Mariano.
Yeah, man.
That's
Mr.
your uncle?
Mariano, Mr.
Hey, he's-
Mariano.
Oh
Yo,
shit.
he's retired, but his math is still mathing.
Yeah, I
He's
remember. I remember that
still
guy. He was
adds up.
cool though.
Yeah.
he was,
Still
one, he
adds
was
up.
one of the cool ones.
Yeah, he's a good dude, man. He, knows his pluses and minuses.
I hope so.
Yeah.
He's a factor out here.
Yeah, he's always he's always fair with his division.
He's a legend for sure, man.
Yeah.
I remember that guy. That's what's up, man. Small world.
One thing I admire about Jake, I'm gonna call him Jake. Y'all call him Barnone.
Call me Jake, bro. It's all good.
You already know what it is. One thing I admire about him is his work ethic and how he will jump on a track and with no doubt. A lot of cats will be like, "Who's on this track?
Yeah.
What is this? What am I gonna get out of it?" Jake is he loves you. Love music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And your work ethic is something I witnessed early, and then that's why Lightweight took advantage because I had a lot of friends that were trying to make music,
Right.
and then I don't rap, I don't make music, I'm not a DJ, but I can EP some shit.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean,
Campaign album.
campaign album. That's one of the first projects, like from start to finish, that I ever was a part of.
Wow.
Before that, it was like I put out. I want to say I don't know if my solo came first or before that.
Was that Jar?
No, so my first one was called Never Turn Back.
Turn Back. Yeah.
But I want to say the campaign was before that, and that was actually a really fun time, man, because we were like just hanging out. Shout out to Ice Pick, shout out to Lansky, shout out to Anthrax Beats, C-Buck, man. My brothers Gus, we put it all together. We really started in a basement, then we ended up in High Street Studios, and then we like finished it off in there, and it was a good time, man. I mean, at that point, to me, it was for sport, bro. Like music and rapping was just for sport. Like I wasn't even tripping off
Making money.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't. I was just kind of like finding myself really at that point.
Flexing that muscle, getting them hours in.
Yeah, I was exactly.
Jake would think of the hooks and he would sing them.
Yeah,
But he didn't want to sing. He didn't want to sing on the track.
I didn't want to sing 'em.
You did on Coolin'. You sang on Coolin'.
I did, but I still don't even
This is
like.
nerd talk.
I don't even.
I know my dude's
I still don't
albums.
even like that. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I just was never
'Cause I'm
comfortable doing
coolin'.
it. Like I know, like nowadays it's like the thing to like sing and rap at the same time, but it was just never my style, bro.
There was this story I heard about like Michael Jackson and Kanye West, right? It was before Michael Jackson passed away, but he had talked to Kanye West and was like, you know what? Like you have a good voice. You should sing on the album. And then right after that, he released like 808 and the Heartbreaks.
That's what it is. Well, they heavy on the mixing and auto tunes too. So,
super heavy.
like they perform live with that stuff on.
What's your thoughts on Kanye?
I think he's a genius. Musically, he's a genius.
Yeah.
There's not too many people that can even scratch the surface like that dude. But I think he's so smart that his thoughts and his words, the stupid things that he says, surpass everything else.
Yeah.
You only
He's so smart. He's an idiot.
Kind of like, he's almost like a savant.
Yeah.
Like he's so smart that it drives him crazy sometimes. You know what I mean? Because the dude is really smart. Like he's not who he is for no reason.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's also usually like walks around with kind of like different levels of people to kind of translate his thoughts.
I think, and I think he's probably like reached a level that a normal human being can't gather it all. You know what I mean?
He did
You
it
know
in
what I'm
music
saying?
and he did it in fashion.
Yeah, like it's like a level of success that you can't contain it. You know what I mean? You can't be a regular person.
No.
Yeah.
You
That's
know?
like, how can you just be like, oh, there's Kanye, like at Safeway
exactly.
buying like butter.
You can't go to Target
Buying
or
butter.
Or, there he is like picking out the best hot wings.
Yeah.
Like
the
it's
section
not-
at Costco.
Yeah, those are like the same. He's like mind you, Kanye was the one who proposed to shut down the whole like park to like propose to Kim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here in the city too.
Yeah, there's people who like try to look for a good spot with no people at the park to propose.
I think he picked the wrong wife, if you ask me.
Yeah,
if you
that's
ask me
true, too.
that question too.
He was chasing that for a long time.
Because you can't be mad at marrying a chick who had a sex tape and then be angry at her every
I think everybody's
you know what I mean
it,
for the
right?
rest of
Everyone's
life.
seen it.
You know what the thing is too is that like that family, it really starts with Chris, right? Kris Jenner, because she's the one who kind of like
The mom, right?
Yeah, the mom. The mom's the one who like kind of like shops them out like that. I
don't know. It's like marrying, Kelsey Monroe and then being mad at her for her past, bro. It's just, that don't work.
Who's Kelsey Monroe?
Yeah, who's Kelsey Monroe?
That was a deep cut.
I think I do know who that is, but
you
I
got
don't know if I
everybody
can admit
Google
that.
that.
Is it a Starlet?
Google that later.
Not on your work computer. Don't Google it on the work computer.
Did she recently attend an award show in Vegas this past January? For sure. Got it. Don't even say less, fam. Say less.
We can use a more common name if you want, but
Are you able to separate music from the person?
now, yes.
Because we didn't have that access before. When
What do you mean exactly?
so like, okay, I'm gonna say R. Kelly.
Yeah.
Oh,
He created some great albums, great music, right?
Yeah.
Lots of great music. Your Mother and Sundance was to
I danced with my mom.
Yeah,
at my
Step in the
wedding
Name of
to
Love.
to R. Kelly.
So yes, like
That's a good question.
for us.
That's a good ass question, bro.
For us, we didn't have the vision into everyone's everyday life, and not everyone had a platform as all the social medias. So we just knew the music from people. We didn't know the people, right?
Yeah.
Now you kind of get to know the person is, and like I'm honestly okay liking the music and not having to like the person because I'm not his friend because of his person. I'm not following him for his personality.
Yeah.
I'm following dude because of his music. You know what I mean?
I think it's kind of it's a complex thing because if people find out like what he's been up to,
Yeah.
and that he was still but he was still actively up to,
Yeah.
and
All
then
shitty.
and then they look back at the songs that he's made, and they're like, wait, hold up, like age ain't nothing but a number.
He was dropping hints.
I like that crotch on you.
He's the Pied Piper.
Ali's
of
parents had
R&B.
to sign off on it though, because
Yeah.
they got married.
Well,
Sure, but that doesn't make it right.
No, it doesn't
100%.
make it right. But
Yeah.
the for that piece of it, you can't just point one finger at just him,
Sure.
right? The parents have to be like, nah, you're not gonna take my 15-year-old daughter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
it's like some parents will probably like go to any extreme to have a successful child,
Right.
Yes.
And that's probably one extreme
Yes.
that her parents were willing to go to. You
Yeah,
know?
especially if they were like poverty stricken or something like that.
Well, my friend, just to bring this up though, is my friend T. Raw.
Get close to the mic, my dude.
Oh, sorry, my friend T. Raw. He always says this. He says, "Love the art, not the artist."
Yes.
So
I'm okay
that
with
kind of breaks it
separating
down. Yeah, I mean it's hard though, because what he did is pretty heinous, man.
Yeah,
That's not like
is a good word.
that's like you can't really let that slide.
No.
Like to me, like all crimes aside, he's the GOAT of our generation, bro. Like I hate to say, like Michael Jackson is the GOAT, but like me growing up in the '90s, like R. Kelly,
Feeling on your booty? Come on, man.
R. Kelly was just
Not yours, but the songs.
yeah, like it's hard to deny his catalog, right?
Yeah,
but
It's hard to deny.
but it's like it's also hard to deny what
It's also
he's
hard to
done.
defend him.
Yeah,
Exactly, like-
so it's really hard. Like
His pen is ill though.
he's man.
Yeah,
he's a genius, another genius.
Been through a lot of shit.
And that's what they say kind of bring out the creativity when people go through trauma.
So are you still listening to Tory Lanez?
I never really listened to Tory Lanez like that.
Yeah,
I
I'm
did a
old,
little
dude.
bit. Like there's here and there, but he's a good artist. I just
Yeah,
never.
he's a good artist.
He's talented as hell, but
Yeah.
I just never really got into his music like that. It was just like spotty
That's
for
a
me.
really good fucking question.
I mean, with that whole situation,
You don't care for either side.
I don't care for either side.
Yeah, I
you
can
put
tell.
yourself in a stupid situation, that's what's gonna happen.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
That's
Like,
true. That is true.
As a 40-year-old rapper, what young boys are you listening to?
man,
NBA young boy.
Yeah, what young boys you listen-
you know what's crazy? It's funny
Young
because
SOG.
there's not too many young artists that I actually like. There's songs that I like.
Yeah.
Songs that'll come on and be like, oh, I like that song, whatever. But there's not too many artists that I'd be like, ooh, like I listen to him heavy. Like it'll probably be like I like Lil Baby. Lil Baby, I like too.
I like Lil Baby.
Like he's probably like my favorite out of the young rappers. You know what
I
I
like
mean?
Lil Dicky.
I do.
He's pretty good too.
He's hella funny,
dude.
And I like Roddy Ricch. I got Roddy Ricch. I fuck with Roddy Ricch. And then I don't know. After that, it's kind of hard. You know, some straight street rappers are really entertaining, but
Yeah.
I can't really get into it.
I like
Big butts and I cannot lie.
what's that guy's name? He's not Kanye. He's Kendrick Lamar's cousin.
Oh, Baby Keem.
Yeah, Baby Keem.
Like, you see, my son loves Baby Keem.
I like Baby Keem.
Jacob loves Baby
How
Keem.
old is Jake?
13.
So does he put you on new game?
Oh yeah, all the time.
That's like the best feeling, right? Like
It's
sharing,
crazy.
you know? Yeah.
Like I'll put it like my Apple Music on random. And one time we went for a ride, like a drive, and it was like 8 songs that came on. And he was like, I know all these songs. He just like rapping all these songs. And I was like, bro, I don't even know what song this is. You know what I mean? But he was feeling it. And some of them I was like, oh, this is kind of tight. You know?
Yeah.
So
If anything, I think what's lacking with like the new rappers is longevity.
it's longevity. And to me,
Common sense.
Yeah. Well,
it's creativity, man.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's what it really is. To me,
like
is
we
that
gotta be honest. Like Lil Wayne birthed all
oh
of
no,
them.
Lil Wayne is the ultimate little. Out of,
Yeah.
out of all, there is no
Over Little Romeo.
oh yeah, he's he's the god, bro.
Yeah,
like
face
to
tattoos,
me,
neck tattoos,
yeah,
dreads,
just the whole
all
thing,
that.
you know, like
Yeah.
you know the whole drug culture, all that stuff. Like he was that guy, but at the same time, Lil Wayne, he was raw though. He can actually
Spit.
bar it up, you
Yeah.
know, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
you get what I'm saying. He'll say some things that have you tripping. So
Yeah, see, there's not like a lot of lyricism, and you know, it doesn't have to be like the rappity. You know what I'm saying? It just content
Well,
in general, right?
it's like when we were growing up, and I hate saying that because it makes it sound old, but when we were growing up,
We old, bro.
yeah, that's very true. You can kind of decipher where a certain rapper is from by the way they sound,
Right, Scarface.
their style,
Yep.
their delivery, their beat selection, all that stuff. You can kind of say, oh, he's from the Bay, or he's from Houston, or
Yeah.
he's from New York or New Jersey or whatever.
Right.
You could kind of tell that when we were younger. Nowadays, you can't tell.
Yeah.
You know why? It's because social media.
Yeah, well, no, for sure.
It gives everyone. I was just talking to someone about this. Social media gives everyone the same slang.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There, like before when we were young, there was regional slang.
Regional slang.
Like grip was like
Yeah, no, for
our
sure.
version of like hella is us.
Oh, no,
That's-
hella is us. That's
hella is us.
And then you got like people on the East Coast saying hello, and you're like, yo, get that back. What are you doing?
I think the internet
Hella whack.
helped and ruined
I mean,
rap
what-
at the same time.
That's kind of like why Pop Smoke sounded like a UK artist, right?
Yeah. He did.
Yeah.
In it, bro.
Exactly. It was like on that drill, like, yo.
You as an artist that toured.
Yeah.
What was your favorite place that you? What was one of your favorite places to perform at?
Well, I could tell you straight up, like the best places, it was Chico was always cracking. San Diego was always cracking.
That was this is that college tour what you did with Nicotina, right?
Yeah, so
that's dope.
Those places are always cracking. Seattle, Portland is always cracking.
It's when the white crowds come out.
It is.
It's true.
It is. They just
It's the truth.
They just show love, man. Like
They love live.
shout out to the white folks, bro.
Yeah, because they're like, what is this? I love it. And you're like,
no,
yo.
like they're with it, man. Like they don't hate. They just embrace, it all. So
And they buy merch.
they buy merch. They're just into it. You know what I mean? So, and they know at a party, smoke hella weed. They drink and they just let it loose, bro.
I thought that was so dope that you shout out to CB. Y'all,
Shout out my brother CB, man.
I love you, dog. And then y'all went on a straight tour, and it was like a college tour, and then you did West Coast.
Yeah, we did. We went as far as Montana.
Wow.
We did Montana. We did like Spokane. Those are like really cutty places.
Yeah.
Washington.
We did Washington. We did a bunch of like small places too, where like you just go and it's like, oh shit, where are we? But
Did you ever perform at the Octopus Lounge?
oh yeah,
Yeah.
I was just
that
there.
Pacifica, right?
Yeah.
I was just there. Shout out my bro, Came Up Cobb. He just did a performance there.
What is it now?
It's dope.
Is it still,
It's
what's it called?
dope in there. It's called the Longboard Lounge or something.
Oh, is that Longboard Lounge?
Yeah.
But also
Okay,
like the stage and everything?
Yeah, but they flipped it out. Like if you ever wanted to throw like a showcase or some kind of party or something,
Yeah.
it's actually a pretty good venue, man.
Longboard. Okay.
They like switched the stage out.
Yeah.
It's in 2 sections now, so they have like an upper room with a bar.
Oh, damn.
Then a dance floor on the bottom, and then they have like a smoke lounge on the outside. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, dude, I remember we used to perform at the Octopus Lounge.
Yeah, it was kind of grimy over there back in the day.
It was
a lot of ciphers. I remember hearing about. I've never been. I remember hearing a lot of ciphers at Octopus Lounge.
I remember, like, I think it was with Ease. Shout out to Eric. He threw.
That's my guy, bro.
Yeah, cool guy. He threw like a couple shows over there, and we used to do a bunch of shows over there too.
Yeah, we did we did those circuits too, like the whole showcase circus. Gus used to do his thing, man.
A little bit.
You know, I think you know what it was too. I was thinking of this earlier. It was like it was great timing because when we started really going heavy on the music, you was going heavy on throwing parties.
Yeah.
So Gus would always be like, "Oh, I'm promoting a show at fucking I don't know where, Circle O or fucking wherever, maybe, you know what I mean, like Diesel or some shit." And they're like, they want you guys to perform, and we'd have like a show just automatically. Gus would just put us on. So So shout out to you, man, for
that was in Jake's first solo album, Never Turn Back. When he did that, he was like, "Hey Gus, I have to do a party." And I was like, "All right, we just have to pay the DJ and I'll make it crack for you." He goes, "What do you mean?" I go, "We'll just do a free party." Right. We made a free party. He performed.
What was that Club 6,
Club
right?
6 downstairs too.
Wow.
In the little dungeon.
Yeah.
It was a good time, man.
Yeah. Jake, you have a great stage performance. You know what I mean? Like you're a showman, and
that's true. Very true.
You have a good back and forth with the crowd.
It was, I enjoyed that shit, man. I still enjoy it. You know
I was in my first. The gig was the first music video I was in. Jake,
I know, man. You know what's
TikTok.
crazy is that people ask me about that video all the time, and it's just like lost in
the gig
YouTube space somewhere. Yeah. Same with Got Game.
So
it's gone. So nobody can find it.
Oh, really?
Do you know what Got Game is, Rommel?
Nah, what is it?
So Got Game, my boy, my brother Jake.
Yeah, real quick. I saw that actually. The Warriors posted something with Got Game.
So what happened was, someone reached out to. Well, I think you should tell a story about Got Game because I know from already it being done and you telling me it's gonna drop.
Yeah, it was my boy Big E. And they mistaken you and him. And he was in the video, and it was like, I kept on saying, "That's my boy Big E." Yeah, Big Eric, right? They're like,
that's the government name. Easy.
But now he lined it up. He knew. So basically, at that time, the Warriors would do.
It was We Believe era of the Warriors.
Yeah, they would do these post game shows where they would just talk about the Warrior game, and then they would end it with like a local artist. You know, it could be a song, one of their songs or whatever they wanted to send them, they play it. And then dude was like, "Yeah, they want you to do if you got a song for the Warriors post game, send it to us." And then I was like, you know what, I'm gonna make a song about the actual Warriors, bro. So then I just wrote this song. I wrote a song about the Warriors, watching them getting whooped by like 30 points. By like Dirk Nowitzki. They were playing like MVP Dirk Nowitzki, and they were losing by like 30. And I wrote this song about them. And then I sent it to him. I sent him the song, and then the media guy was like, "Yo, bro, we want to bring you into the stadium. We'll let you record. We'll let you shoot the video. Yeah, in Oracle."
Wow.
I was like, for real? They're like, "Yeah, show up this day. We'll have the camera guy there. You'll have it for like 2 hours or whatever." And then we just knocked it out. It was cool. It was a good time, man. So
he had his own camera guy. He was sitting on the bench to where everyone checks in to check into the game.
Yeah,
like
man.
And then he had this. I think you still have it. He had this.
It was like a rosary shirt.
It was a rosary, but it was like the Filipino flag to where he had the 3 stars.
Wow.
He had the sun, and it was like he's really on.
Yeah.
Like, that one got the most spins because you talked about. We had everyone. We had Nelly, we had Baron Davis, we had Stack Jack.
I like put everybody's name in there.
Yeah. Beatrice,
like Bonte, Beandrins, Darrell Wright,
Air Paris or Air France.
Michael Petrus.
Yeah.
And then
funny thing, Curry was on that team, but
he was a rookie.
He was a rookie,
and he was hurt. Yeah. He wasn't
but it wasn't Steph yet though.
And they were played on like the jumbotron and stuff, so it was cool.
Yeah, and this is when YouTube really started to like pop off.
Yeah, so and I see that's what I'm saying. People still like hit me up like, "Hey, where can I get that video? Where can I see the video?" And be like, "I don't know, man. They own that video." You feel me?
Oh, they took it down?
Yeah, they took it down.
You can search it. We'll find it.
You can find it. It's probably in the dark web somewhere. That and the gig are in the dark web somewhere.
The gig.
They're like buried. You know, amongst all the 1 trillion videos online. So.
You did 3 songs for the Warriors. One you were in, I think, a feature, and one you did another one
I did one. I didn't. They were like, do another one. I did another one.
It was a remix, right?
No, so the remix came later.
Yeah, because I heard that one. That's
that one is still on online.
Yeah, it's on. I think it's on their. It's on their IG.
Yeah, but the second one was
blue check mark.
The second one was like they're like, yeah, do another one for us. So I did another one, and then they did it in the practice facility, which was cool. That was cool too. It didn't get like as much as attention, and then it just kind of time went along. You know, they of course they have to like rotate other artists.
Yeah. I'm gonna find that fucking.
And then
song.
the Warriors start winning championships.
Yeah.
And then shout out my boy John, who worked for the Warriors. He was like, bro, somebody mentioned you the other day, saying that they should bring you back for a song. And I was like, for real? He was like, yeah, bro, you want to do another song? And this was like 2017 or 18, like right when we got KD.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
right. That was remix.
It was recently, and then he was like, yeah, record another song, and I didn't have to shoot the video. They did the video themselves.
That was kind of whack though, because I wanted him to be in the video.
Yeah, it was like it was cool though. It was like a highlight video with like cartoon effects and stuff. So
yeah.
It's all right.
Got like Dragon Ball Z effects, right?
Exactly.
That's what I saw.
You know what I mean?
And all for the free. Jake just working.
Yeah, pretty much, man.
I think that's the thing, right? That's kind of like the difference between like you and a lot of other MCs is that you're not in it to like, break me off something. It's just
the thing is, I think with me it was more like I was in it for that for sure, but I ate in different ways, you know,
it was
like
secondary.
Yeah, exactly. Like I ate off the music, like going on tour and things of that nature, you know, where like going online.
On tour money is a different flex.
Like even with tour though, it's like you have to invest in that too though, you know, like nobody's gonna shoot you a bone.
I regret not doing your first tour merch shirt. I remember Belf reached out. That was something I regret to the day.
We'll do it again.
Yeah, we're running.
Yeah, no, it was good times, man. We had good time. I had good times making music. You know, it's not done, but you know, it's just like you look back at it like.
Do you have a favorite song?
Oh man, I don't know.
I made all my kids. Like they're all my favorite.
I don't even know all my songs, to be honest with you.
Did you have any other names that you were going to work with and then before you settled with Barnone?
Before I was Barnone, my name was Relentless.
Oh,
I don't know how that came about, but
probably because you're relentless.
Yeah, it was relentless. It was like
this game is
is relentless. I don't even know how I came up with Barnone, to be honest with you.
William Floyd, right?
I think I got it from William Floyd, but it was like I don't know. I don't know why I stuck with it. It just stuck with it, or it stuck with me, one or the other.
I like that though. Like and then Barnada.
Yeah, Barnada.
Yeah, not a man, not a man. From that, yeah.
Barnada. So were you rapping back in Reardon?
At that time, I was like, just like smoking weed and freestyling.
Yo, what if it was that? What if it was like the whole thing with the hair that got you like, yo?
I was, you know what it was?
That's your origin.
I was like, at that point, already like I was listening to everything. You know, that's like Tupac and Biggie was like really big and Bone Thugs. You know what I mean?
Green
and,
Day, everything.
Green Day too. I love Green Day, but I wasn't like
Pac or Big.
I wasn't really seriously like rapping. You know,
Pac or Big. You can pick
Pac. I'm going Pac.
I knew it.
Big is dope too, though. But
yeah, well, I have a,
Pac is the GOAT, brother.
I have a, my whole thing with this is that Biggie was a better lyricist. Pac is a better head figure. Like people look to Pac with revolutions.
Yeah,
they won't do that with Biggie, and rightfully so.
Come on,
I think it also depends on what you're looking for. You know, like I just think like Big was a dope lyricist. He came sick every single time.
Right.
But like Pac's catalog is crazy, bro. To me, it's just I don't know. His catalog is.
Romel doesn't agree. No. He wore cargo pants all high school. So
here's my
that's
thing.
That's where he's at.
Pac was again. He was definitely a man of the arts, and when I say arts, I mean like music, acting, dancing.
Total package.
Yeah, total package. But if it comes to lyricism, Biggie takes that.
Oh yeah. He's way more complex when it comes to his delivery and bars.
He was ahead of his time, but then work ethic has to go to Pac just because I heard he used to sleep in the studio.
I mean, even after he died, he had like 9 albums.
Exactly.
Like, you know,
and then he was like spotted in Peru.
yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
He didn't be spotted in Peru. Nobody spotted Biggie.
I told Jacob the other day, I was like, Tupac changes, because he was like watching something on TikTok, and I could hear Tupac like saying, "Follow me," you know what I mean? Like, and I was like, hey, Tupac changed his name to Machiavelli before he died, and he was like, who's Machiavelli? And I was like, he's the guy who faked his death to kill his enemies, and he was like, so he is alive. And I was like, Dad, that's crazy. Like that whole thought still carries on to my son. Like like 30 years later. Yeah.
Personally, like when it comes to music, right? There's like it's hard. It's a hard transition for me.
Yeah.
Like making beats was like tough before, like people, you had to find somebody who actually had the program.
Yeah, no, for
you know
sure.
What I'm saying? Not just like the free version.
Yeah.
Shout out to name some producers you fuck with. Shout out to K-Ro.
Oh, K-Ro, Anthrax. Shout out my boy Young Cuddy. You know what I mean? He just did like a whole bunch of music for us lately.
Who's the one that's in New Zealand that you met?
Oh, that's my boy Dan Kays, man.
You met him on a foreign exchange trip, right?
No. So Dan Kays was actually a friend of a dude I used to work with, and he was from New Zealand.
Okay.
And that was like his best friend, and I was doing music, and he was like, yeah, my boy in New Zealand, he makes beats, and he sent me like all these beats. I was like, bro, these are sick, bro. And so I started working with him. Like we were trying to like line up this whole thing where we were gonna go to Australia and New Zealand to work with him and like do shows, but. Because he was doing like A&R stuff for like whenever like 50 Cent or somebody was going over there, he was like the dude, like
the handler.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? But yeah, no, shout out Dan Kays. He was that's my boy, man. He's all the way Jake the Must style, bro, New Zealand, man. So.
Do you have any regrets? As far as like I should have done this instead, or
not really regrets.
Specifically with like music.
With music,
yeah,
I don't really have any regrets, like
because he live it. This dude live it.
I mean, of course, it was like I did a lot of it. There was a couple songs that were put out. I was like, I shouldn't have put that one out. Those days, right? There's a bunch.
But you live and learn, though, right?
Yeah. That's the thing is that I think my only regret would be not to put everything out that I ever did, or hold every song that I did where I felt like this needs to be out there. Nowadays. Like I'm more selective, I'm more selective about what I put out there or the quality of it or anything. Like before it was like, so like making music these days is so easy for everybody.
Right. Fuck
like
that.
you can literally make 1,000 songs.
On your phone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
recording on your phone and everything.
When I was recording, I paid for every hour I was in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if I did something, I felt in my mind like, I have to use this.
It was like $25 $25 an hour.
Yeah,
that's what High Street was.
It's even more expensive now, to go to the big studios. But I think that might be probably, I wouldn't say it's a regret, but that's probably a mistake that I made was
not
putting more. Yeah, it was like I always like enjoy putting like whole projects together instead of just like making one song for one song for one song.
Yeah.
But then I should have stepped back and looked at it as a whole project and just putting one song for one song for one song and then having a whole project.
Yeah, like
right?
that's
what
project.
I mean?
Yeah.
Like I feel like if a dude's album is 13 songs long, but only 5 are tight, he could have just had a 5-song EP that would have just been solid as hell instead of you
juicy. Yeah.
Instead of you searching through 13 songs to find those 5. You know what I mean?
You ever do like a concept album? I think that would be dope, just because you have a lot of like range when it comes to writing.
Back
and
to
music.
the Future was a concept.
We did Back to the Future with me. Shout out Dago.
Shout out Dago.
That's my brother right there, man. We did this mixtape called Back to the Future where we just used and D-Dot. Shout out D-Dot because he
wizard.
We did this mixtape where we just picked old beats.
Yeah.
Like kind of like throwback beats.
What's up, Dario?
Dario. We just did a bunch of songs and then he kind of like put it together in a blender. It was pretty dope, bro.
Did you do any tracks? You did one Swift Rock track, right?
Also, man,
the smoking one, right? The one
Rest in peace of Swift Rock, man.
Rest in peace, Swift, man.
So I only have one Swift Rock song or produced by Swift Rock on an actual album. But Swift Rock actually kind of jump started me. Like he kind of we used to record in my room with Kelly's equipment. We smoke hella blunts in my room and record off his little laptop. He had a mic and everything.
Yeah.
But then we knew Swift Rock had like everything. You know what I mean? Like he had a booth. He had like all the equipment. So Kelly was like, man, we should just go to Swift Rocks to record. And then I just remember going to Swift Rocks and I recorded like maybe like 4 or 5 songs over there. And he kind of like got my juices going, you know what I mean? And then that song that we did, the Smoking song that was produced by Swift Rock, it was kind of like the foundation to my first album. That was the first song ever recorded on that whole album. Yeah.
No Turning Back?
Yep.
Oh wow.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, rest in peace to Swift Rock, man. That dude was a genius, bro.
Yeah.
Do you think that if you had the same accessibility to like studio stuff that the youngsters do now, that your career would have been different?
Possibly. I think if I would have started rapping now, so like now technology helps everybody.
The rapper,
you know what I mean?
right.
It helps the rapper. It can also hurt you too, because there's so many rappers out there, you know?
Yeah.
But if you're that dope, it's easier for you to get your stuff out. Like I can easily do it now, right? But do I feel like pushing hella hard on the internet and stuff like that? It's just not my game. Like, it's not my space. You know what I mean? Like, I don't feel.
You're for the street.
Nah, it's not even.
It's for the street.
It's not even about that. It's just more like the internet is such a weird place to me, bro.
True.
That I feel like people become weirdos to be on the internet.
Yeah.
To be seen on the internet. To be. You know what I mean? You become a weirdo about it. Like, I need to do this to get
to get that
1,000
clout.
likes.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
exactly.
That's weird to me, bro. Like, you know what I mean? That's just not the space that I be in. Like,
I think the crazy thing though is that people can get like thousands and thousands of streams and get money from it just for it being used in TikTok.
oh yeah, for sure.
That whole thing didn't exist when we were making music.
it's much
That's
different,
crazy.
man.
Yeah.
We had to
different.
press CDs.
Yeah.
We had to press CDs. Like the campaign album. Do you remember who mixed and mastered it?
I do not, bro.
Ghazi. Empire.
Oh, that's right.
Empire. Empire is that movement right now for distribution.
yeah.
When we did a campaign album, we got it mixed and mastered through Ghazi. Ghazi did it himself. So yeah, shout out to
One more.
shout out to that
I like how you
distribution
rolled that.
guy.
Yeah, no, guys. Yeah, I remember that. But now look at him now. You know what I mean?
He stayed with it.
Yeah, no, for sure. You gotta find your lane.
Do you have any tracks with on Dex Beats?
Marvin
got a
Marvin was
bunch.
recording. Rest in peace, Dex Beats, man.
Rest in peace,
That's
Dex.
another good dude, man. I had a couple with Dex. It was on this album that I put out called No Sleep. That was like kind of like a Cuddy album that I really didn't push heavily, but I should.
Randy did the cover to that, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, shout out Dex Beats. He always let me record in there. He was always show. Actually, I was the one that I want to say I brought Marvin to Dex Beats, or it was vice versa. One or the other. I don't know which one it was.
The one in
but,
South City?
But I remember Dex from back in the day because, he was part of LMNOP, and then those dudes were super popular when I was like coming up.
That's
you know what I
high
mean?
school area,
That's
right?
high school area.
Yeah.
So they were like super heavy. Like, everybody knew who they were. And then they were just like the Filipino Wu-Tang Clan, I remember.
That's a great way to interpret that.
For real, I always have respect for them because even E. Masson, he probably don't remember this, but he let me open up one time, and it was like E. Masson, B, I think like J Billion,
Jamone?
J Billion, and
P-Funk probably.
what's that one dude from not the Far Side, Souls of Mischief?
A+?
Not A+. Opio, I think. Not Opio. What's the tall, skinny dude's name?
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
My man Festo, my man A+.
Dope, you gonna see dope.
Yeah, what are those dudes? But they,
Bridget, her man's
down to 7 digits. Call her Bridget. Her man's a midget.
I'm not gonna lie. I had the opportunity to attend some of the services for Dex Beats, and it made me want to like make music again. JT and I were talking about that. Ran into E. Masson. Shout out to E. Masson.
Yeah, it's a good
Done
job, man.
done multiple songs with him.
I haven't seen any of them cats in a long, long time, man. But like back,
It's great. It
Ooh,
was great.
let's do a mixtape. FREE99 mixtape.
man,
And we'll call it Lethal Weapon because
Man, put it together,
we're
man.
all too old for this shit.
man. You know what it is, bro? It's not being too old for it, man. But like, this is the way I see it when it comes to music. So
Yeah.
I only record accordingly, like I told you, right? Like if I feel like recording, I'm gonna record, or if I feel like writing, I'm gonna write. Because if I force something out of me that I don't feel like saying, but I'm just forcing it, just saying it to say it,
Right.
Just
then
to rhyme
then
shit?
I'm cheating the game right there.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Repeat that one more time. I interrupted you.
if if I'm forcing things to come out because I want to be a rapper or I want to be a rapper, and I'm over here forcing shit out, saying shit that I don't want to say, or rapping on beats that I don't want to rap on, then I'm cheating the game at that point.
Yeah.
Well, that's the way I feel. You know what I mean?
The last time I had wrote something and did a track was probably back in 2016, and it was about the separation that I had with my wife.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and I was good. That's the shit that you're going through, so I know what you're talking about.
So
it's just
yeah,
it's like you put it
to get it out, right?
It inspired you to write about that, right? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like sometimes like rap music gets repetitive. You know?
It's too braggadocious, right?
Yeah, so like it'd be like everything has been said. I said it in the rap too. Everything's been said before. I just spit a different version to it. That's just all it is. You get what I'm saying?
You know what I respect about the way you rap? You never talk about killing people.
Because I ain't never killed nobody.
Real talk. You never talk about shooting people.
You know what I mean? That ain't me.
And let's get it clear. Like
I mean, like
everyone got those friends, right?
Yeah, I mean, it just I only could
You can only represent who you are.
Yeah, like I spoke to who I was and what I felt like at that moment. You know, that's just that's how it all came out.
I was really proud of that because a lot of our friends that we knew in certain circles, everyone talked about that was everybody. Everybody wants to be tough, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, you ain't gotta be tough, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I love this motherfucker. I don't know if y'all knew.
I mean, really like, you don't have to say you tough for people to know you tough. You know what I mean? Or I don't have to brag. Like, don't get me wrong. You know what I mean? Of course, people live that reality, and some people live that truth. But like, I'm not gonna try to live somebody else's truth.
Yeah, why front on a blessing?
You know, like, yeah, exactly.
That's a good one. Front on a blessing.
Yeah, why front on a blessing?
That just wasn't my lane. That wasn't my style. You know, like I would rap aggressively. You know what I mean? I would be aggressive, but I would be aggressive in a way I didn't have to say I'm coming to kill you. You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying? When you write, is it still on a notepad and a Sharpie?
Man,
let's talk about that. Let's talk about that because I used to be cut from that cloth where it's like in order to write rhymes, it has to be physically written.
Yeah. I used to, man. I have notebooks in the back in my Camry. And
shout out to the Camry.
The Camry's still going, bro. I just dropped some bread on it to keep it alive.
I texted you last week.
Yeah,
fixing this fucking car.
There's some notebooks in there that have all kinds of different color Sharpies, just straight bars. It's hella funny because Jake will like pull it out and then he'll try to like rap it and it'll just come out sounding hella trash. He'll be like, "This sucks, Dad." I'll be like,
you suck.
I'll be like, you're not rapping it right. Then I'll grab it and then I'll kind of like go through my head. This is how you say it. Then I'll say it to him. He's like, "Oh, that's kind of tight." You know what I mean?
Do you write it differently? I use mine with like slashes and lines.
Yeah, that's exactly how I write it, man. Yeah, the bars, the slash. Yeah, for sure. But now I write everything on the phone, man.
Yeah.
I'm a victim to technology too.
I also have a notepad.
Yeah, on my phone, man. It's just all in there. But
it's just easier, right?
It's just easier.
It is easier, yeah.
But you have notepads on deck in the car.
Oh yeah.
Right now. Different color
at the
Sharpies.
house. There's probably like four notepads. I probably have some like stashed away, like they're just like archived. But
I was talking to JT Guwak J.
Yeah.
And he actually recently just started like writing rhymes and putting it on his IG, and the content is completely different. He's talking about like generational wealth. He's talking about it's real, right?
Yeah, no, for sure.
That's what we're going through right now.
Yeah. Is it seasoned rap? Like, so everything's seasoned now, right? It's not McDonald's rap. It's
the perfect example, right? Tyler the Creator, when he first came out, he was like one of those like fucking rambunctious, scary kids, angry as fuck. And then as he progressed through his career, he became more melodic, more about the music because he has money now.
Yeah, exactly.
He's not about that.
And you just grow, man. Everybody grows, man. Yeah. Like everybody grows out of. Like I grew out of who I was, in 2010 or 9. You know what I mean? 13, whatever in those years. Like I grew out of it.
But I literally just bought a pair of cargo pants today.
Everybody grows. You have growth, and I think at some point, if like you follow an artist, you're gonna have to hear growth at one point or another.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
sure.
If you follow closely to an artist, they're gonna grow at some point. Like sometimes people grow into an artist and you don't like them no more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you'd be like, oh man, I like this first 2 albums, but these last ones are trash.
Yeah,
That's because
else.
maybe he grew into something that you didn't like,
Yeah.
you know? But at the end of the day, everybody has to grow into something, you know what I mean?
Who are 3 artists that grew with you? So it has to be active right now.
Damn.
Who?
That's hard, man.
All right, give me 3 artists who didn't grow with you.
That's easy.
It's hard, man. It's
Okay,
hard.
fine. Favorite artist. Let's go favorite.
Favorite?
Right now?
It's so cliche, man. It's
Come
just-
on, man. I'm
Drake?
a cliche dude.
No, not Drake. Drake is
Drake
one,
is good,
I
though,
love
yeah.
Drake though. I fuck
Is he
with
top
Drake.
5 for you?
Top five all time?
Top 5. Just
Oh,
top.
just in general?
Yeah. He is your top 5 makes music.
You can't hate on it. I mean,
It's good.
We had it's good music, man. I'm sorry, bro.
yeah,
Like
he's outsold the Beatles, dog.
he's just
Well,
he's
that's
the-
because streaming's available. Like, if it was all hard
Here's
copy,
one thing I will say about Drake.
it was hard copy.
Even if Drake follows a trend, he does it better than whoever made that trend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Does that
Kiki,
make
Do
sense?
You love me? Come on, man.
It's
Everyone was doing that
no, it's kinda
fucking
like-
dance out the car.
It's kind of like well, for one, he's one of the first rappers to sing and rap at the same time and actually be good at it.
Yeah,
right?
without autotune.
I mean, you know
I
what
like
I mean?
50
And
about it, though.
then everybody, and every
Ja Rule
like
has some,
50.
Ja Rule has some slaps.
so here's another one.
Please.
50 Cent.
Okay.
Get Rich or Die Trying is one of like the best albums, right?
Yes.
What's the last
Front to
50
back,
Cent
yeah.
album you listened to?
The Massacre?
All right.
And that's
was
when
like,
you're,
yeah,
but
that's
you
when you're
go-
like, I need to stop listening.
yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like, 50 Cent is a great artist, great businessman.
He
You
didn't
cannot
grow.
deny him.
Yeah. Shout out
But
to
at
Vitamin
some
Water.
point, either he didn't grow or you grew out of 50 Cent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So Jay-Z then for you.
See, with me, Jay-Z, like, Jay-Z he's up there too.
Yeah.
But, like, I think you really should have just retired at the Black Album.
Yeah, that was a good album.
If you ask my real opinion,
Yeah.
like, if you were to tell me that I'm about to retire right now and this is the last thing I'm ever put out, he would have went out like Jordan, bro.
Yeah, but we wouldn't have had.
And
Watch
then he
the
came
Throne.
back like the Wizards. You know, you get what I'm saying?
I only like a handful of songs off of Watch the Throne.
I don't really like those albums, man.
Dum dum.
I don't really
Dum
like
dum.
them.
Dum dum.
I still work out to that album.
I mean, like that song's cool. Like he has a couple of songs in there, but like
Kendrick, actually, I said Purple Heart. Kendrick now, see that guy has displayed growth within a 3 or 4 album. Like,
oh yeah, no, Kendrick is
Yeah.
dope. Like a Good Kid, Mad City, that's a dope album.
yeah. But look at Good Kid, Mad City.
And then look at him
Yeah,
now,
all
right?
the way to his
Yeah.
like last one.
Damn, that Damn is a good album too. I like
Kanye?
Dude,
Are we just
Was he
gonna
won
say
like a
Kanye?
Pulitzer Prize, right?
Yeah,
off of Damn.
Spell Pulitzer.
Kanye.
Pulitzer.
Kanye's another one though, but I
That's-
think, but
that's that
Kanye,
dude.
he like morphed. You know what I mean? He changed. You know what I mean? He went from like the backpack hip hop. You know, I rap with Talib Kweli guy to like
I just used them. You
You
heard
know,
him? He said that shit.
Black Nazi. You know what I
does
mean?
it?
Like,
Yeah.
you get what I'm saying? Like,
I think that's. I think
You
you
know?
said it earlier, which perfectly explains it. Is that like a lot of people do weird shit on the internet to get clout.
it's true.
But why should somebody? Why somebody who's so like smart do that? I don't know.
He's on the highest stage of stages. That's
Yeah.
why too. You
Yeah.
know, so it's like people like that know they have a certain amount of power that even if like 100,000 people didn't like what I said, there's gonna be 200,000 people that do like what I said. You know, like he's like on a whole astronomical plane. That
He was on Trump's side. People were still buying his shoes.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like people were still bought into the music. Like people hate Trump, but they love Kanye.
Well, that's the
Why
thing.
do you still
too.
rock with R. Kelly, right?
Keep in the closet.
Good point. Good. Okay, so if R. Kelly is no longer the GOAT, I give it to Usher.
Ooh.
For our era or in general?
Our era.
All right,
What do y'all
Usher.
think about that comment
Usher,
right there?
huh? He did. He
If
Usher.
R. Kelly is no longer the GOAT of our generation, I'll give it to Usher.
Usher did. He
Man.
did. He was the one who found.
Name one
Justin
that'll go
Bieber.
against Usher.
Bruno Mars.
That's the most Filipino shit.
I
I've
don't
ever
know.
heard,
He
though.
came out when I was like 35, though. But not really my
But his
generation.
body of work, he's been writing
Oh
songs
no,
a
for sure,
long
for sure,
time.
for sure. No. You know what? Bruno Mars. Okay, I'll give you. He'll give Usher a run for
What
it.
about Neo or like the Dream?
Not Neo.
I fucks with
Neo,
the Dream.
no, Neo did songs
But
for
see,
like
those are
to the left, to the
songwriters.
left.
Yeah.
Those are like songwriters, though.
Yeah, okay,
I'm
okay.
just
Those are
talking
songwriters.
about.
So you're
like,
talking about performance.
straight up, like if we were gonna put a catalog versus a catalog, like
So you said Usher.
Usher to me, I mean Bruno Mars' catalog is pretty dope.
You're right. It's about a 15-year difference though. From
That's what I'm saying.
From
You know what I mean? Like Usher was doing things when I was like in 8th grade, bro. Like 7th grade dance type.
Mario.
Shit. Yeah.
Hey, let me love you, bro.
He can't even tie Usher's
Braid my hair.
shoes, bro.
Hello, Jen.
Hey, get that counter back.
Mario's not even in the conversation. Man.
No,
Come on.
he's
No, I think it would be Usher, right? Because it's not
It's
Chris,
Usher, bro.
It's not Chris Brown, because Chris Brown has a large
think
part.
That's after us.
I think
Yeah.
Chris Brown is like the younger. He's probably their GOAT. You know, I give it to him for that. But
See, yeah.
it's hard,
Usher,
man.
Usher's that's pretty good.
Okay.
That's Usher.
Justin Bieber.
I can't. I don't fuck. With
He has a good catalog though.
But if,
does.
hey, if
Yeah,
it
he
wasn't
does.
if it wasn't for Usher, there would be no beat.
True.
Exactly.
There was a bidding war for him.
Oh, that's like
the-
reverse slave.
because it was off of Ellen. Jeez.
It's like reverse slavery.
Yeah,
dog.
gotcha, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Britney Spears
Talk
type
about
stuff.
reparations, dog.
Got you, motherfucker. Scooter Braun.
Yo, that was the smartest thing to buy, like Taylor Swift's whole catalog.
So it's cleared now. So anything past 20 years, she can re-record, and now they would have to play that. And now she gets that money.
Who? Taylor Swift?
Yes,
Damn.
that because you know how like Rommel was just talking about. Scooter Braun owns her catalog,
Yeah.
right? So because everything's past 20 years, that's why she didn't do shit for a while.
Yeah.
So
I didn't know that.
yeah, so now that it's I think 20 years, she's able to re-record all her old shit, like all that shit, and then she gets the hits for the streaming. So it's
So
almost like starting
she
from
owns
zero.
it pretty
Yeah.
much. Yeah.
Yeah, starting from zero.
That's like a whole wild game too. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
that.
like buying like the rights and
Yeah.
shit. There's always that story about like Paul McCartney and Michael Jackson.
Yeah,
right?
and they fell
Paul
out.
McCartney was like, he was like, yo, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna buy like the masters and own like the Beatles stuff. And Michael Jackson's like, oh, you don't say.
Good
And then he
idea.
bought that shit. dog.
Was that the story? I heard it was Michael goes, what do you think about buying people's catalogs? And Paul McCartney was like, it's a great idea. So he bought the Beatles.
Oh, I thought Paul McCartney. I thought he like basically was like, "Fuck you, Paul."
I want to say
buy it."
Michael Jackson owns Eminem's thing too, or something like that. I might be wrong, but
The catalog?
yeah, something like he owns some kind of rights to Eminem, and so he owns some kind of rights to Eminem at some point.
Yikes.
That's kind of tight.
Vitamin water.
Michael Jackson's he's vicious, bro.
Yeah, he is, man. And
He's the GOAT.
They
no
killed
doubt.
him.
They did.
They killed him. They killed Prince.
They killed all of them, bro. No.
They killed him. Like,
I saw this like crazy ass.
there's
like,
a lot of videos come out about
Yeah.
Prince.
No, I heard this crazy ass conspiracy theory, right? Michael Jackson had one more album to
Yeah, I
record
seen
on
that.
Sony. And then after he recorded that, he gets ownership of Sony.
Yeah.
Just like how Kobe, right? Kobe was going to leave Nike.
Yeah, and then he passed
And then
away.
yeah, just saying.
I seen that.
Just saying.
I mean, I'm a huge conspiracy theorist.
Yes,
I'm
you
not
are.
saying like I won't say I believe in everything,
Yeah.
but I definitely dive into the rabbit
You'll
hole.
definitely hear it out.
Yeah,
What's
no,
the
I-
craziest one you heard
There's so many, bro.
regarding music?
Oh.
Music?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if I can pinpoint one.
Okay,
but
I heard one.
Good,
recently.
good.
One that I heard is that Kendrick Lamar ghost writes for Baby Keem, and he just gets off all of his street shit through Baby Keem.
oh shit.
Yeah,
That's well, you know what's crazy is I listened to Baby Keem. I was almost thinking that Baby Keem was ghostwriting for Kendrick.
Oh.
Yo, you just blew my shit, dog.
Because if you really listen to
Yeah.
it, it's like
That's like what came first, the Balut or the
yeah,
Panoy?
exactly, bro.
Easy. Meloda.
Just like they were saying, Travis Scott ghost wrote a lot of Kanye West.
He
stuff
did for
too.
sure.
right.
Yeah, he did for sure.
Because you can hear it in the music.
Oh,
right?
for sure,
Yeah,
that's a fact.
You can definitely hear it in the music.
Yeah. Well, that's like Dr. Dre never writing any of his lyrics.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
And
Forgot
Puffy.
about Dre? Do you think he just all of a sudden stepped up and sounded
Forgot,
like Eminem?
forgot about Dre was that was Eminem, right?
Yeah.
And then like
Jay-Z
still
did it.
still Dre is like Jay-Z,
Jay-Z,
right?
yeah.
Those are great pens, dog.
So Tribal, you think they you traded him like verses for beats?
Or
Yeah.
it was just like a give and take. Like,
sure.
I got you, you got me. Right? It's yeah.
It's an Illuminati shit, y'all.
Yeah.
No.
They talk about it. They talk about it.
Yeah, no. I mean, it's wild. I mean, you know, we live in the age of misinformation, man. But
Hell
some,
yeah.
some of that stuff, man, I be like, oh no, bro, that
Yeah.
could be real.
I caught one recently, and it's not a music one, but they said that there's a CIA agent, and he's recorded. It looks like he's at his house. They're talking about how 2027 that aliens are gonna come here. Like there's been warnings.
Can't wait.
There's been warnings. They've been kind of briefing like the
We're gonna
countries
cipher
know. But 2027 is supposed to touch down. That's why they're slowly releasing stuff about it.
So this is my theory. All right, this is. I've been saying this. No. It's not even a rabbit hole conspiracy, but this is what I believe, and I've been saying this for a long time. So like like on Earth, all the different races, they have a hard time getting along, right?
Yeah.
Right.
They all separated by race, color, creed, religion, whatever.
Yeah.
The only time everybody on Earth will ever get together is when the aliens come.
Independence Day.
Because now it's no longer races versus races. It's the human race against an alien life form. You feel me? So when the aliens come, that's the only time when humans could actually be like, oh shit, y'all, we got to get together. You get what I'm saying? So that's my theory, man. Maybe they're just fucking shit up right now to introduce the aliens to bring it all back together.
Circling back, Jake had an alien in the Gig video.
Yeah, exactly.
He did have he was
That's a big ass circle, dog.
right?
I'm big into aliens and all that stuff, dude.
And
Like,
his first music video, there was an alien.
I'm super conspiracy guy. Yeah, there was an alien in my video. We had
Doing the Gig.
Shout out little Christopher and
that's right.
yeah, they dressed up in alien suits. The video was pretty much me and my boy Frank. We break down on the side of the road and some aliens help us.
Yo, you gotta find
And we
that
offer
video.
them like some weed, and then they start smoking weed with us, and then they start dancing and shit. So that's how it all comes together, man.
Shit. Sounds ice.
That's the way it went down, man. So, but yeah, that's my theory, man. The only way human race comes together is when the aliens come, because then it's no longer divided by race. It's human race at that point. So
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
Sidetrack.
hilarious. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
I have a reach for you. So
right.
I want you to let me know for those that don't know, what was City Player?
City Player was a clothing brand or a store? It was a store, right?
Trendsetters and then City Player.
Oh yeah. I'm thinking of Sucker Free over there in the corner. No, Trendsetters is City Player. That was my brother Jamon, man. Rest in
R.I.P.
peace.
Jamon.
That was my brother, man. I miss him dearly, man. But I mean, he was like, ever since we were kids, he's one of the original entrepreneurs, man.
Yes.
And as far as like street entrepreneurs go, like he was figuring out things like, we figure out a way to get money, but he was figuring out the ways to do it like legitly, like when,
Shout out to Moan, man.
like the dude was like investing into like print equipment.
Yeah.
He was the first dude. He opened up his own store over there at the top in Pacifica. He had
That's
that
right.
rocking
Ramallah Plaza, right?
Ramallah Plaza, man. He used to print clothes out of there. He used to have a barber in
really?
there.
Yeah.
Damn.
He had a little spot in there with my boy Chiz. Then he went on, did his own thing. Then he had his own spot in Ceremony where on the outside where Starbucks is at now.
It actually
Right?
where
Is it
Subway is where Subway was, 'cause
right?
Starbucks was there. It was down one.
Yeah.
It was like it wasn't right there at the caddy corner, but it was right there. You can see Taco Bell from the window. Yeah, and
it was he just had this mind that was just he was just always on top of it, man. And unfortunately we lost him 2 years ago. So it's going on 3 now, man. But
that's so wild to me.
yeah, it was
That was pandemic. That was like
yeah, it was like right in the middle of pandemic.
2020.
It was one of my closest friends, man. So we actually just celebrated his daughter's birthday at my house on Saturday. Well, ironically, he was the biggest Cowboys fan you'll ever meet in your life.
Ever.
Like I met this dude in 7th grade, and he was just cowboyed out. Like it was just wild. Like,
Earring, headband.
and this is when like
Straight
no,
up.
for real.
Straight up.
And this is like when the Cowboys were like whooping the Niners. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like that was that era when the Cowboys were like dominating the Niners. And he was just the only Cowboy fan. He was the biggest Cowboy fan I knew, and it just never changed, man. Now just looking back on it, man, like that was my bro for real. So rest in peace, my brother Jamon, man. So and Cowboys versus Niners on Sunday. You know what I mean? So
Yes.
ironically, that's the way it's gonna unfold. I'm sorry, Jamon, but we about to take this one, brother.
For sure.
I love the fact that you still keep ties to his
Oh
daughter.
yeah, for sure,
That
man.
is so dope to me.
Yeah,
Like,
you have to, man. Like, I mean, like, God forbid, even if it, you know what I mean?
No,
you get what I'm saying? It'd be the same way. You know what I mean? Like, and I would hope no cry, but you know, God forbid anything like that. And if it was to be me, I would hope my brothers would do the same thing. You know, but that's just what it comes down to. Like, because you know, like I said, we've been talking about. You know, it almost feels like age or growth is the topic of this whole conversation. Like, that's what it comes down to. You know what I mean? Like, you got to understand like the value of your kids. Yeah. Things you like. Some people live with nothing to lose, right? I live with like I have everything to lose.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm at the point in life where, you know, before you live like, hey, ain't nothing to lose. Fuck this shit. Fuck that. You do this. You do that. I don't care what happens. Yeah. Now I'm at the point where it's like I got everything to lose. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you have to care. You know what I mean? You have to care about whatever situations you're in or put yourself into, job situation, finance, whatever, hustle, whatever it is. You gotta, you know, because I'm not only feeding myself no more. You know, like I feed other people now, and other people rely on me, man. So,
you know, in trying to do research about you, that's one thing that I noticed that was kind of like a resounding like topic. It's just being about the family. Making the family the business.
Yeah, that's what it is, man.
Fan biz.
It's fan biz, man. Shout out my brother CB. Shout out to all my Grub Life brothers, all that, because
Grub Life.
Really, put it like this, like CB we're a rap group, correct? Yeah. But even if we weren't rapping, he's still my brother. Yeah. His kids are my nieces and nephews. You know, vice versa. You know what I mean? Like, he's the godparent to my son, and vice versa. And that goes for all the people that I'm super close with. You know, so even like. And there's another thing, I'll just bring this up. Being in rap, sometimes you form these friendships that are false. Right. They're only bonded because you rap. Right. But then when you're done rapping and when you don't have nothing to offer this person or they got something to offer you, you are no longer friends like that. You're no longer connected in that way, right? Yeah. So if I was to erase rapping altogether, then who would be around me? You get what I'm saying? Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, you erased that bond that brought you together that was I won't say false, but it was like fabricated. Yeah. You know what I mean?
You know, it's crazy because like in turning 40, that's one thing that like I've been trying to figure out, right? Like history doesn't necessarily dictate a relationship.
Yeah, it does. It does.
You have to identify the foundation.
Yeah, no, for sure.
You can be led on by rap or whatever, but if it's built from there, then it is. You know?
No, for sure. And don't get me wrong, I do have solid friendships and I've met very solid people through rap music. But I'm saying not all of them have formulated into a friendship that you thought was
you thought was there. You get what I'm saying? I absolutely understand. One thing that I also noticed was that like even if it isn't about rap, like your entire kind of like if social media were to speak on how you are as a person. You are all about that family. Shouting out the businesses. You want everybody else to eat.
I mean, really, at the end of the day, man, I mean, it sounds, everybody says it, but that's all we got. You feel me? Like, to me, I support everybody. I don't even expect that.
1,000%.
Yeah. I think that's fucking dope.
And I don't expect support back. I don't really care about that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care. I support people that I feel like, he deserves, to get some little shine for this because that's what it is. Everybody deserves that, you know what I mean? And to me, it's like coming up, anytime I have something going on, people always give me love. Everybody always shows me shine, you know what I mean? But I do it out of the kindness because I feel like, this dude's got something going on. I fuck with him on a real level. Yeah. And that's just like a shout out on Instagram. It's not even like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm the dude that'll pull up on you and buy shirts and pants for my whole family.
Right, not even asking like that.
Like, as a matter of fact, F-word, I'm about to pull up on him on Friday. I bought a t-shirt for my whole family. Yeah. Not just me. You feel me?
You've always done that.
Yeah, I'm spending.
Your mom is the same way.
Yeah, my mom's the same way. Same thing. My mom, she don't even go through me. She'll just go to this dude directly like, you got hats, you just buy a bunch of hats.
I think it's a very rare that you see that, right? There's a lot of people who will be close to you in your close circle, and they'd rather spend that dollar on like some like luxury shit.
Yeah, nah, man. Yeah. Like, to me, I had this one movement going where I was just. Sorry, man, I called it. No, it's fine, man. Don't worry about it.
I really want to blow my nose right now.
You gonna take a time out, bro? I had this thing. I was really trying to push this thing. Me and my boy Mike Bev were trying to push this local brands only thing, where it was like literally for like a whole span of like 2 years, I just like literally wore clothing that my friends made.
Yeah, that's
you know, and
fucking
not
tight,
just
dude.
betray or anything like that. Like F word. If I seen a dude coming out with a design or a t-shirt, I'm wearing your shit. You know what I mean? Like, why am I gonna go over here and spend $50 on a t-shirt that, you know, I was never really into designer shit ever,
Yeah.
to be honest with you. Like, you could tell, bro.
Do you feel when I wear
don't
like
give a
something like
shit.
that, I feel weird? Do you feel weird? Like,
Kind of. Well, you know what? I feel weird. I don't feel weird, but I feel like sometimes that's just not me. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? That's just not
yeah,
my
you
vibe.
gotta be
man.
true to you.
I have a funny story, and this is a story your mom told me. So there's a person that lives on your block that I know as well.
Oh,
and then,
yeah.
and then his packages sometimes go to your parents' house. So my boy stops by Jake's parents' house and was like, "Hey, I live at so and so. I think a package was sent here by me." And he was like, "Oh, okay. Come inside." They came inside, and I think your mom was talking to him, and he goes, "Yeah, you know my." You know, you might know my son Jake, and then he looks at a photo that's in the house, and he goes, "Is your son Barnone?"
Yeah, no, it's a true story.
Yeah, and then your mom was like, "Oh yeah. Well, we call him Jake though." But
Yeah, I guess.
Shout out to Jay, that's
Yeah, they missent the package to my parents' house, and it's funny because my nephew, he orders a lot of clothes. My nephew and my sister,
Yeah.
they order a lot of clothes to get sent to my mom's house because it's secure there. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Someone's always home, yeah.
So then I guess these packages showed up, and it was like a hat. It was like some pins and shit. And my dad was like, "I don't know who this is. You guys want it?" And it was like a sick ass Giants hat with like a collector's pin. It was dope. And I guess the dude ended up showing up for his package. And then they had to tell my nephew to bring it back and so on and so forth. And he walked into the house, and then my mom mentioned me, and he was like, "Oh man, your son is Barnone and blah blah blah."
Keep
this,
it.
that. Yeah, like he was just hella cool with my parents. And then, you know, my dad ended up, I think he ordered him a hat from you or something, right? And then so he gave him his hat back with the pins, and then he ended up ordering some hats from Gus and then handing it to him, like, you know, like kind of like a compensation type of thing. But I guess they're cool now.
Yeah.
I think my dad, they bartered some like trees from him or something like that. right?
Your dad told me, he goes, "Hey, tell your friend he owes me." Cause your dad was trying to give him trees.
Yeah.
Your dad was trying to give him trees, and then Jay was like, "Nah, I'll give you some stuff."
Yeah.
And then when I see your dad, he goes, "Hey, tell your friend he owes me something." I was like, "Hey,
You know
my
what?
uncle said you owe him from
Hey,
designer, bro. You better pull up on
my
uncle."
dad's gonna hold you against that, man. Like he's like, "Man, you're supposed to bring me some fire, bro. I want to see what your fire look like." You know what I mean? So, but yeah, man, shout out my parents, man. They're good people, man.
That is amazing. Do you mind sharing the story about the first time you smoked with your pops?
Oh yeah, no, I don't mind at all, man. Shit. So here's the crazy part. I used
All right,
to-
we'll blow my nose real quick.
yeah.
Go ahead.
So, basically, when I was younger, man, you know, my pops blow weed, whatever.
Yeah.
When I was younger, I used to steal weed from him. And my dad-
How'd you stumble across this weed?
I mean, when I started smoking weed, you just start having a nose for it. You know, I always knew he smoked weed ever since a kid. You know what I mean? Like I put two and two together.
Familiarize the smell.
Yeah, it's
That's
different.
not
It's a
cigarettes.
different smell than cigarettes, right? So I kind of like, you know, I was like, that smell, you know. But as a kid, you're like, smells pretty good. You know what I mean? So
That shit right.
I end up stumbling on his like stash. It was
Being a kid going through that
it's
shit.
just being a kid, man. You know, and then I used to steal like weed from him, like little nugs here and there, or whatever. And I'm like a young kid, like probably like 8th grade or something like that. And then one of these days, I end up stealing. Like, so he used to have this roach ashtray with hella roaches. So me and my friends, I grabbed like 4 or 5 roaches and we'll roll like a small joint with it.
Pinner.
You know, a little pinner joint just to smoke or whatever. And this day I end up like grabbing, like, I didn't know it was like his last. So he planned on coming home to smoke these roaches the way I did, but I got to his roaches before he did. So I end up taking his roaches. We roll a joint, I smoke his roaches, and then I didn't have a pager or a cell phone at the time. Actually, cell phones weren't even out at that time. It was just pagers. 8th grade, it was like 96 or something like that.
like a two-way.
So my mom starts paging all my friends, like, yo, 911, tell, you know, with our phone number, our home phone number. And all my friends are like, dude, your like parents are paging us like 911 right now. And I was like, dude, I think they know I stole my dad's weed. So I call home, and my mom is on the phone, and she goes, "Did you steal your dad's weed?" And then, like, you know, as a kid, I could have just easily tried to lie and play it off. But at this point, I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to just have to just let it out. Like, this is, I've been doing this for too long. Like, he caught me.
Yeah.
8th grade?
8th grade.
Wow.
So it was like, I started smoking weed, 7th grade? So going into 8th grade, you know, it's kind of like, you know, it's been like a year I've been doing this. Yeah. My dad had fire, too. Like, he had straight fire, like, trees that I still ain't seen to this day. Like, shit. Like, all the scientific shit they got behind it, he had some shit that was, like, beyond. Like, it was ahead of his time.
That's Sherm for sure.
Yeah. He had some shit. He had a plug that was not
made.
Yeah, he was not playing around. But anyway, I call him, and then I just tell my mom the truth, like, yeah, I stole his weed. And she was like, you got to come home right now. So fucking hop on the bus.
Damn, that was like a 2-hour rest, a 2-hour journey home and shit.
No, actually, I got my timeline all wrong. I'm sorry. This is like freshman year, and I've been smoking weed going into this.
Okay.
So then I end up going home, and my mom opens the door, and it's my mom, and then my dad's behind her with a baseball bat, bro. And he's just fucking flashing, like Filipino style flashing, you know what I mean? Like, just going crazy. And my mom don't know what to do. She's like panicking and shit. And then
damn, it must have been some good ass weed.
No, so here's the thing about my dad. It wasn't for the fact that I was smoking weed. You know what it was for?
Then you took his weed.
Because I was stealing, bro.
Oh, principle.
It's the principle.
Yo, I fucks with your pops, dog.
Oh, my pops is the coolest, bro. I love my pops.
Shout out to OG, man.
So it was. I mean, of course, he was pissed because I smoked the last of his weed, right? He was like,
just made him
he was
more
yelling,
angrier.
you know, like fucking. I mean, you know, going depth. I was like stealing cigarettes, like porno mags and shit like that. Like, you know, I was just
you
young
put him
teacher.
back, right? With sticky pages.
Yeah, like it was a bunch of shit. Like they like flipped my whole room upside down, and you know, like we had this whole talk, and then you know, my dad was like, you know. He was like, I was looking forward to coming home and smoking weed and just relaxing and stuff. And you know what's crazy is that when I was younger, I never really understood my pops a lot just because I just didn't understand him, you know, as a young kid. But now that I am a pops and I am this age, I understand him a lot more. Like, I understand where he was coming from at that point, you know what I mean? And it came down to where he was just mad because it was the weed a little bit, but it wasn't so much the weed. It was more so much that I stole from him, you know?
Yeah. Because it's like... It's stealing from others is like one thing, but to steal from your parents is another.
Exactly. You know what I mean? And then so this whole like melee goes on. I gotta put my room back together, like my shit's all flipped upside down. And then my dad comes knocking. Oh, my mom leaves to get food. She was like, okay, I'm gonna get you guys food or whatever. She leaves to go get food.
My bad.
And then my dad knocks on the door. I was like, you wanna smoke this joint?
Fuck yeah, that's tight, dude.
And I was like, sure.
Were you guys like super bonded after that?
Yeah, like so we go in his room.
In his room,
he fires with the joint. He's doing exactly what he wanted to do, kicking back, watching basketball. That's all he wanted to do.
Yeah,
he
but
wanted
imagine
to go.
that with his son now. That had to be just as memorable for you as
for sure. So he fires it up, fucking tap the joint back and forth, back and forth. I end up getting high, and then you know everything was cool after that. Like. It was like a different kind of level of understanding and respect, you know? Yeah. And it was like, I was happy that happened because it's like, you know, like I know my parents are cool as hell, you feel me? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, why would I keep prolonging this whole like charade where I'm like, you know, not stealing weed from you? You know
I think at that point too, when you decided not to lie about it, like that was kind of
an epiphany to you too, right? It was definitely an epiphany, man. So, and then after that, it was like, he's, you know, my pops is always cool, man. Like, he's all about it, you know what I mean? Like,
it's who raised you though.
He's a real OG for real.
It's who raised you.
Well, I got best of both worlds. I always say I got best of both worlds because my dad was like, you know, from the streets type dude, and then my mom is total opposite, and she's a teacher, and she grew up in a different environment.
Yeah.
So I kind of got both, you know what I mean? Like my mom is like super
sweet,
chill, hella patient, hella smart, you know, like she's down to help anybody. And then my dad,
zucchini bread.
I hate to toot my mom's horn, but her zucchini bread is fire. Next time I'm going to bring you a loaf.
Yes. Yeah, I'm down, dog.
Yes.
Again, man, bring one of your dad's joints. Hey, he wasn't porno bag.
You put it together, man. My mom could bake like crazy.
Yeah.
And it's because, you know, she mastered that because my dad you know,
He ain't a lot, 'cause he was high, yeah.
Exactly. You know what I mean?
You know, I asked these guys.
Yeah.
I asked these guys before. You know, like, and I'm thinking about it just kind of like from the perspective of your pops and how you said that like your pops and your moms were completely different, right?
Yeah.
Even though they were from different sides of the world, I bet your pops knew that he could trust that your mom would not tell the police where the bodies are buried.
Oh no, yeah, no, 100%.
And that's a very like important thing.
100%. You know what's wild, dude, is that my mom always told me that the first time she ever saw a real fight is when she met my dad.
And that's what she fell in love.
She ain't never saw a real fist fight. She thought it was like
Oh, like a joke.
yeah, like a joke, or it didn't
Side story
It didn't exist. It was
when they used to dance.
she thought it was like, you know, it only happened in the movies or something. Like she never witnessed a real fist fight in the streets until she met my dad, man.
But that's like some true like Beauty and the Beast shit.
Oh yeah,
right?
no, for sure. Like,
But your sister's like hyphy.
so my sister is
Shout out
more.
to Chef. I love
My
Chef.
sister is more like my dad.
Yeah.
I'm more like my mom. You know what I mean? That's
Oh,
the
so
way.
you make a pretty good zucchini bread.
I wish. Shit. I wish I did, man. But yeah, man. And shout out my sister too, man.
Love Chelsea.
She beat a nigga ass for sure.
She is one of the girls that if I would never do it, but if I needed a girl beat up,
Here you call my sister
that
for sure.
yeah.
Well, you know,
I think she'd do it for
she
you,
grew
but
up
I
around-
wouldn't do. I wouldn't put her out like that.
She
you know
grew
what
up
I mean?
around us too, like watching us, like growing up. You know,
Yeah.
like she was never really like the girly girl like that, but
No,
she, you know, she know how to get down and shit. Like, you know, she got some. You should have her on here. She got mad stories.
Hey, don't test
She's
us.
also a doctor, right?
Hey, we're
she's
about to call you. About to call you pops
and
out
you know
on here
what?
too.
And she's a doctor.
And she's
man.
a doctor.
Is she really a doctor?
Yeah, well, she's a physical therapist, but you
Yo,
know.
why are you knocking down like that?
No,
I'm sorry,
no, nothing like that. I'm just
Yeah.
saying, like, you know, she went through the whole process. Like, you feel me?
Y'all bet you she be like hella
doctor.
cracking backs, like.
Oh yeah, for sure. She got all kinds of stories. You know what I mean?
Just want to do a time
She's
check.
just not a doctor that, you know, does surgeries or fucking.
Yeah,
you know,
no,
takes
it's still
your
a
heart out
doctor
and shit
though,
like
right?
that. Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, my grandma was a psychiatrist, so
That's right.
kinda
That's
like,
tight. See, that's tight.
She like wrote books and shit, bro.
Yo, what?
Yeah, my grandma,
What's your grandma's name?
Yo.
Lourdes
Lord-
V. Lapuz. But we call her Grandma Beeson. God rest her soul too. You know
rest her
what I
soul.
mean?
Was she
That's
like
my mom's mom.
was she like Americanized?
Yeah, she was actually. I mean, of course, like, you know, my mom grew up in the Philippines, but they also lived in like New York and Hawaii, like growing up. My grandfather was a doctor too. He was a radiologist.
Oh
shit.
He has a hospital named after him in the Philippines, man. When he passed away, he had like 6 funerals, bro. That's the last time I went to the Philippines. It was like
6
'93.
funerals?
Yeah, I swear to God, like they paraded my grandfather around like he was like he's like a legend, but like they had like 6 different like occasions for him. You know what I mean? Before they actually laid him to rest, bro.
Do you? I have to say though. All right, and I'm not trying to like kiss ass or anything. I have to say though, do you see the parallels in your life as well as your grandfather? Because of the fact that like you put in so much work
Oh yeah.
in rap with the community, built that family, expanded that family. That I'm
Well-
sure God, you know, God forbid, when that time comes, you about
Yeah,
to have
God forbid,
you about to
man.
have 7 funerals, bro.
I hope not, man. But you know, I mean, I do see the parallel in that. Like I know I do get a lot of like my personality, and then like my writing comes from like, you know, my grandfather.
Oh,
and
I
my
didn't even
grandmother,
think
you
about
know
that.
what I mean?
Writing, yeah.
So my grandmother writes books. She's a psychiatrist, so she studies the mind, right? So, and then my uncle, my mom's brother, he's like a musical genius, bro. He could play any instrument, bro.
Really?
From
That's
ear.
crazy.
From ear. He could write his own music and everything, bro. And he paints and everything, bro. It's crazy. I get a lot of that from that side, you know what I mean? And then from my dad's side, you get like the grittiness, you know? You get the family, you get the family values from my dad's side, because my dad's side is so deep. Like, there's so many of them, like,
That's like, now that you're like explaining this, right? It's kind of wild to hear, because it's like the grittiness, right? And then like the smartness, like the whole like mentality, like having all that, and then for it to kind of like resonate through you, through music, and
Yeah, no,
aside
for
from
sure.
music, through everything else.
Yeah,
It's beautiful.
It comes together, man. Like I never, like I always tripped off that, but like, you know,
That's
it was
beautiful,
like a formula.
dog. Yeah,
Thank
that's
you, man. I
crazy.
appreciate it, man. Like, it takes a lot, but I guess you can say, you know, and I'm just a piece of the puzzle, you know what I mean? Like my family is super huge, and I have a bunch of family members that are like, you know what I mean? I love them to death. Like, you feel me? They all.
I was at a family party to where Never Turn Back first came out, and your aunts bought your album.
Yeah,
I was at that family party.
See,
so
that's tight.
Here's another story. Gus used to get me on these. I would call this like the Filipino tour, and this is before.
Filipino.
Yeah, we do like we do like Pistahan Festival, Fiesta Islands. What else? We did like a couple of them. There's
like, just do it. Just do it.
I actually saw a post about
Gus put me on like, bro, you want to rock for like 20 minutes or whatever, blah blah. I'd be like, hell yeah. We did this one in Vallejo that was like super huge. It was like a big one.
Yeah.
And I remember like my family came out to watch me, bro. And then up until that point, that's never happened before. You know, like my aunties, my uncles, they all came out to support me, and it was wild because it was like they knew that I did music like that, but you know, of course, they're not like popping in a CD, like listening bar for bar, like, oh, he was coming on that way.
You hear that shit, dog?
Oh shit, he was going hard on that one. Like they wasn't listening like that. They support me like that, right?
Yeah.
But like when they came out to actually like watch me perform, like my cousins, my aunties, my nephews, my nieces, it was wild, bro. Because it was awesome, because it was cool, because they enjoyed it. You know what I mean? They saw what I actually did, and they were like really happy about it. You know what I mean? And that was like one of the very those are one of the moments that stood out to me, like as far as like doing this rap shit. Yeah, for real. Because, you know, like, they got to see that. And then it's also at, like, you know, the Filipino festival. So you get a lot of the culture going. You know, you get the food.
This is early, too.
This is early, man.
This is before, like, Filipinos really accepted rappers as, like, performers.
Do they still do that or no?
I think they do.
No, they have that one at the...
There's different versions now.
Well, what's that one in San Francisco at the...
Undiscovered?
Yeah, Undiscovered, yeah.
Undiscovered.
They still do that?
Yeah.
See, I'm not, like, tapped in like that no more, you know?
Well, I think... you know, I think that's one of the things that you were able to kind of like tap into, as far as like releasing all of your stuff like within like the DSP platforms and everything, right? Yeah. Imagine this, right? Your kids have kids, right? And they want to see like what you were about. They can stream your shit.
Yeah.
You are now living forever.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. And that's the beauty of the technology, you know what I mean? Like, you can always go back.
It's amazing, dude.
Because a lot of shit gets lost, man, you know? And like you said, we was doing things like early YouTube things, and things get lost, you know what I mean? But nowadays, it's kind of like, you can kind of like cement it in there.
All right, so here's the thing, all right? I'm going to give you a situation, all right? We're talking about that same situation. Your kids are having a kid. If your kids had kids, right? They want to know what you're about, right?
Yeah.
Pull up some of your songs. Come across this episode on YouTube or all of your streaming platforms. Hey. Give them the message right now. Tell them something.
Man, just love what you do. Just love what you do. Love your life, man. Live your life to the fullest. Do what makes you happy. You know what I mean? Like, don't do anything to try to fit in. There's a message I always tell my son. The nerds are not the ones who have their faces in the books, man. The nerds are the ones who pretend like something they're not.
Hey.
All right? So always remember that. Don't be a nerd. Be you. Don't be afraid to be you.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? Just stay out of trouble.
Yeah, stay the fuck out of trouble. We see you, the future, yo.
He said, the first thing you said was, you said, do what you love.
Do what you love, man.
So I'm gonna give a small story. Right, and then this shows exactly who he is. There was a party at called Wedgwood, which is same Francis Square. It's
the
now
Wedge.
Wedge. Yeah. Now it's a Thai restaurant, right? But there was a party there. Jake was a showcase, and it's in Daly City.
Is that the one near CC Pastry?
Yes.
Yep. Right next door.
So there was a headliner, and the headliner was like the radio guy. He was, he was really industry, right? He had intermingling. He's working, right?
Yeah.
And then when it was time to perform, Jake was like, "I'll go first." Jake always says, "I'll go first." Jake always says, "I'll go first." So Jake went first, and he rocked it. He rocked the shit out of that crowd. And then when Jake's set was over and the headliner came up, Everyone went outside with Jake to smoke a cigarette. The headliner waited, and you're like, "Hey, could you tell some people to? I'm gonna perform now. Could you come inside?" And then Jake, being Jake, was like, "Hey y'all, let's go inside. Let's go inside real quick."
For sure,
they went inside and they showed respect, but Jake let that motherfucker know that you're in my city, and I'm gonna show you I get it popping, and then when it's your turn to perform, no one cares about whatever song you had on the radio.
I mean, I always like going first, because if you set the bar, that's the bar that's the bar people have.
Oh wow, that was dope shit, yo. That's full circle as fuck, dog.
But when you set the bar, that's what people have to match that bar after you. So put it like this: if you go first, you're gonna have the strongest impression, whether you trash or not. Like,
right.
If you have the energy or not, you're gonna be the first impression that everybody sees. But if you come with it and you're the first person they see, everybody after you has to reach you, has to meet you at that level. Yeah. That was my mentality. You know what I mean? Like that was my mentality all the time. Because really, most of the time, I was kind of like, I'm not big or popular on the radio or anything like that. You know what I mean?
A-side or B-side.
Yeah, exactly. Like nobody's here to see me, but I have everybody's attention first. Boom! You set the bar. People gonna have to meet you at that bar. You know what I mean? And then you
rock crowd, because you really rock crowd.
That's just that was my mentality pretty much all the time, bro.
Jake is a true MC because he mastered the ceremony. You know what I mean? Like he would hold the crowd. Like I remember going to many parties at Slim's where you're like, get money, get money.
Well, that's what it is. When people, and this is what I'll tell a lot of young performers out there.
Young boys,
you guys got to tighten up that stage performance, man, because that's where it really comes out. People. I know plenty of times I've seen somebody I never heard before, and then after I seen them perform, and they had their energy up, I was like, bro, I like this dude. Like, on pause, but I like his like he up there, doing his thing. But like it comes down to that. You know what I mean? Like you got to make an impression. Like. Sometimes people go up there and they're just too cool, or they're too nervous or too scared. Yeah. It's like, fuck.
The chain's too big.
You can't do too much though. You can't be out there like doing too much though, to where you're like people look at you like a weirdo. But you gotta come with energy, and you have to like interact and like make people feel a part of the show and shit.
Also, like as an MC, right?
As an MC,
as an MC, there's a high.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's a different type of high. I can't explain it. Like. It's like the anticipation plus like the nervousness, seeing the looks on the faces, feeling the energy. When you put all that together, it's like
for sure.
Crazy.
It gives you a different kind of feeling for sure. I mean, there's definitely been times where I went up there and it was trash too. Don't get me wrong. Like I've done shows in front of like 2 people before, but you know what?
I threw a couple of those parties. I'm not even gonna lie.
Whether or not it's 2 people or 200 people, I'm still gonna. I had that mentality. Energy, like I'm just gonna go up there. Yeah. I mean, but you know what? That's just
part of the game.
That's part of the game, man. Yeah. That's just the path you go through sometimes. Like it's different nowadays. Like. I don't really go out to see shows. Like me and Tasha go out. We'll watch concerts and shit.
Tosh.
Yeah, shout out my wife Tosh. She's at home doing homework.
Tina Turner.
You know what I mean? Tina Turner. But like we go out and we'll watch shows, but it won't be like rap shows. We'll watch like R&B shit or something. You know what I mean? Like
maybe a symphony for Andre Nicotina.
Yeah, we saw that. That was dope.
But you were backstage though with that, huh?
Well, I wasn't backstage, but we kind of got like we got the little booths up top, and we got to hang out with him for a little bit after. That's my bro, man. Like,
they didn't say bottle service at the orchestra.
No. But we were drinking beer and wine, and you can't drink inside because it's it's a symphony. So, but it was dope.
So you had a flask.
Pretty much, bro. Yeah. It was definitely top 5 like musical performances type events that I've seen though, for sure. It was put together very well, man.
I'm sad I missed that one.
He's gonna do another one in March.
Let's do it,
man. It was a good time, man. It's like it's different, you know what I mean? Not too many people do shit like that. So
closing out, do you have any closing words for anybody, for the team, for your grandchildren?
For my grandchildren, man, I love y'all. Hopefully you guys are doing something great with your life at this point, and your parents are. So, but yeah, I mean, closing words, man. Thank you guys for having me. Appreciate it. You know what I mean? I'm always down to come talk shit.
Yes, sir.
We have we got an album out, Family Business, called Family Ties. It's on Apple Music everywhere. CB album, Keys to the Game is everywhere. So we're still putting music out, man. So you know what I mean? It don't stop, man. You're always gonna have a passion and love for it, like we was talking about.
For sure.
And I didn't trip. We was on the song together.
Jay and I actually been on the song with
he
Guwak
pointed it
Jay.
out.
Oh shit!
Actually, I want to
shout out
talk to you
Guwak
about that, man, because like I'll talk about that afterwards.
And the Rumblefish
And
too,
the Rumblefish
man.
too. Shout out to Paul, man.
Yeah,
Shout out to
Mario, yo.
Shout out to Joe, the drummer.
Yeah, Joe, man. But yeah, man, FREE99 podcast, man. Thank you guys, brother. Appreciate it, man. It's all love.
My last words for my grandson is stop playing with your dick, dude. Study, all right? Focus on your school.
My last words, in the words of Barnone, fat kids rule the world.
Fat kids rule the world, baby.
Damn right we do.
Podcast.
For every day.
Love y'all, man.
Chad, get your weight up.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you
Have
guys.
fun?
Yeah, for sure, man. Always have fun.
She
man.
got
Thank you,
gems.
man. Thank you, bro.